Hello, we're back again. I'm Stacieysidro from Holistic Progressions. And yes, I am a sex coach, but I'm also a spiritual life coach. You can follow me on Instagram at sexcoach_Stacy. Today, we're going to talk about something that is all over the spiritual community, I guess you could say. It is the concept of manifestation. So, there's lots of practices around manifesting your dreams, love, money. So, I'm going to tell you the dirty little secret about manifestation at the end of this video. So, watch it all the way through and like and subscribe to this channel. So I'm going to go ahead and read some stuff that I wrote about manifestation. Just a little how-to for you. Of course, there's certain times of the year and planetary alignments that are recommended for manifestation. Equinoxes, new moons, but especially in the spring equinox, that's a big time. Because it's stepping in from, the darkness of winter into the spring and creation. And there's other times of the year that you can do this. Hell, you could do this with orgasmic energy, right? So let's see. The first thing that you need to do is to have a very clear vision. Get as honest with yourself as possible. Let go of any judgments or expectations around what your vision is. Meditate and journal about this vision. Think of it as kind of a brainstorming session. So one of the big deals is, within these practices is speaking it into the now. So instead of saying, I want to find true love, you would say, I have true love. I am true love. I have all the money. So if you are unsure about your vision, then ask the universe or your higher self to reveal what needs to be seen. Meditation can be a process for that. And we always have different crystals and stones to meditate with, burning incense, lighting special candles. Ask yourself if you can enjoy the process of creating this vision. Also, ask yourself, what is the intention behind this vision? What impact does this vision have on yourself, others, and the community, or even the world? Identify how you are connected to this vision and to the journey. Do you wholeheartedly believe that this is possible for you? Is there any part of you that thinks that you don't deserve this? We really have to release all the fears around our vision and become fully connected to it. We need to release false beliefs that we don't deserve the happiness, joy, and unity our vision can create. You have to truly believe and accept that you can have it and love the journey. If we find we are experiencing some doubt or fears, that doesn't mean that we cannot start to take action towards our vision. It will only add to the journey. We need to take small steps towards this vision while we work through those false beliefs that are ultimately going to keep us stuck and hold us back. Now that we have a vision and a strong desire, and our intentions are clear, we really need to let go of the end result and step into the journey. Become present in the moment. Commit to the process. Fall in love with the process. When we are overly focused on the end result, we make it harder for ourselves to get there. So that's what I'd written about that. The other thing that comes up is I've been diving into Joe Dispenza, right? And it's about your heart beating at a certain rhythm and being in frequency with your mind and your dreams, and like feeling as though it is already achieved and knowing that it is already achieved. So way easier said than done, right? So this is, a practice. It's a school of thought that comes up a lot. And when we subscribe to a school of thought, such as manifestation, then now we see this as like the lens, right? So we start to look for and find ways to see that this is actually working in our lives, right? So now we've got this perspective and this lens that we're viewing things for, and we're just connecting all the dots and connecting all the dots. It's happening, right? So what happens when it's not happening? That was my question. So if I'm subscribing to this school of thought, that means that now I don't want it bad enough, or I don't believe that I truly deserve it, or that I'm allowed to have it, or now there's something wrong with me. I'm not doing it right. My heart's not beating in the right sequence with my mind, and, I'm not speaking it into existence as well. So now at this point, for me on my journey, I'm like, oh, great. So now there's something wrong with me, and I'm trying to manifest all of this stuff, and it's not happening, or it's not happening the way that I wanted it to. So it just send me into like more turmoil and more discomfort. So this is the dirty secret, you guys. You can't manifest anything, okay? If it's supposed to happen, it's going to. I know it's very shocking, and I know that there's some of you that are going to just argue up and down about this, and that's cool, because I'm here to mind fuck you, basically. It's like, the manifestation stuff is, oh, everything that is happening to you, you have manifested in some way, shape, or form, whether it's on like a spiritual level before you came into this earth for you to experience this. And sometimes that's comforting, right? But in the grand scheme of things, did I really manifest someone dying? Did I really manifest financial hardship? Did I manifest the pandemic? Did I manifest racism? Like, no, I didn't. You didn't. Nobody did. That's just what it is, right? So our brains like want to know, like, what is this, and like, what does it mean, and what can I do about it, and how can I make sense of it? And the fact of the matter is that sometimes it just doesn't make any sense, and sometimes there's not a great reason for things. I love to find a greater purpose. That's always been kind of my go-to, right? Find the silver lining. And then that led me to bypassing some things, right? Bypassing like anger, sadness, grief, and these emotions that I labeled as bad. So I'm definitely coming around to the idea that whatever is going to happen is going to happen, and that's just what it is. I can do whatever I want. I can burn all the incense. I can meditate with all the crystals. I can believe it's true. I can know I deserve it, on and on and on. And the fact of the matter is, if that's not what's supposed to happen, it's not going to. And if something happens, that's what was supposed to. Why? Because that's what just happened. Okay? So you can see this as, defeating and depressing and terrible, or you could see this as an opportunity to surrender to what is and come into acceptance of what is. And for me, this, idea of acceptance of what is really takes the stress off of me. I have to get this done. It's my will. It's all up to me. The pressure around that makes me want to go to sleep and vomit or something, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't have goals or work towards them, because hell, I'm a life coach, right? Like, we're all about assessing the situation and setting the goals and making action plans. What I am saying is that it's that piece of releasing the expectation on what's going to happen, right? And just allowing whatever it is that's going to happen is going to happen, and coming into acceptance of that, and not trying to blame ourselves or make ourselves wrong for not doing it right or trying hard enough or believing hard enough to get something that we think that we want. Ultimately, I think that everything happens the way that it's supposed to for some greater good that's beyond what I can humanly understand. And when I remove my own personal will and the idea that I can control all of these things, for me it gives me a feeling of peace and serenity, and it allows me space to do what I'm called to do. If there's a spiritual practice or something new that you're learning and diving into, then that's great. That's what's appearing, right? That's part of your journey. That's what's supposed to appear. That's what it is. So dive into it and roll with it for a while. Just know that nothing is true. None of it is true. No thing. Not like nothing. No thing. No thing is true. And it's not always up to us. I do also believe, like most people don't plan to fail, they fail to plan, right? So it is part of the journey to have a vision and have goals and work towards them, and in the same breath being open to whatever that journey is. I never set out and said, oh, I'm going to be a sex coach. No, like I just wanted to do hair and belly dance, and I did that, and that was cool, and that was great, a nice time, and I still do it, and I love it. And I'm really passionate about those things. And I also know that whatever I'm supposed to be doing, that's what I'm doing. And I don't have to stress about it. I don't have to go through some checklist and check off all the boxes and, expect this end result. Because every time I do that, like, the universe or God or whoever, the great mystery, laughs in my face and says, guess what? It's not up to you. So I invite you to surrender to what is and rest assured that it's okay. And it's just part of the process. And you're exactly where you're supposed to be, because that's where you're supposed to be, which is really cool. It's kind of exciting, right? And just surrender and come into acceptance of what is. And if you would like to dive into this more, please send me an email. I'd love to chat and see what working together looks like. And I will also credit, I'm doing what has appeared is this course. It started out with Busting Loose from the Money Game by Robert Scheinfeld. Then he has the Ultimate Freedom Experience. So I've gone through that course and I'm going to do it again. And it's brought me into this place of acceptance. So I also invite you to check that out if you're interested in any of his stuff. But, this is a place that I kind of got to last year, even before all that. What goal do you want to have for your clients? And, what do you want your clients to feel like? And who exactly are your clients? And, it's like, what I said was, well, they're going to experience whatever they're going to, and it's not really up to me. I'm just here, right? Like, how do you even market that? Like, what goal are your clients, going to achieve from working with you? Nothing. Whatever they're supposed to. But honestly, that's the truth. Like, it's not up to me. It's up to them and to whatever shows up. I know that every time I say, okay, I want this, once I start peeling back the layers, that's not even what I want. I want something else. This is just like the frame for it, or this is just the representation of it. So it's about not being attached to that goal and being in for the ride and being in for the journey and being in acceptance of what is and what's here right now. And as Robert would say, it's getting into the relationship with the truth with a capital T. It's awesome. So yeah, and even like Byron Katie's work, she talks about, it's called The Work, and it's really about coming into relationship with like the truth of what happened, of what actually is. So there's lots of other places you can find this kind of school of thought or path or whatever, but it's something that I've really been diving into. Hell, I was going through this huge Buddhist meditation and mantras and meditating on death for a month straight last year when I kind of came into this space. So there's lots of paths, and whatever's showing up for you, that's what's supposed to, because that's what is. So let go, surrender, because it's ultimately not up to us. So I hope that you have enjoyed hearing this dirty little secret about manifestation. And I've given you something to think about. So with that being said, I will close this video and say to you, Goddess blessings.